this fits into this. This is my little travel mini kitchen in a bag that I take on all my travel adventures to make sure that I can eat on the plane and have some things to season my food. So in today's video, I'm going to go through everything that I have in this, and I'm going to show you a couple of extra things that are not in this bag that I take with me on every travel adventure, because travel adventure favors the prepared. I did a video a few weeks ago about some of the things that I always take with me on my personal carry-on that I use on the plane with me, and a couple of them were in this bag, but I wanted to show you what else I take in this bag as part of my travel adventure to be prepared for anything. And generally on a plane, you've seen many of my videos that I have made bento boxes and full meals to be able to bring something healthy with me on a flight. But there are those flights where I don't necessarily bring full meals, but I still bring this with me and a few other things so that just in case something happens, I have something to eat and just to keep me calm on the flight. But let's start going through what I have in this bag first. First of all, it's a cute little bag, and it has a little carabiner here so I can attach it to something and keep it nice and handy. And the first thing I'm going to show you is this little thing on the outside of the bag, which is a tiny little carabiner and a little badge clip. And I'm going to tell you in a minute why I take this, but it's on the outside of the bag, and I keep that as part of my little kit here. This first part of the pouch here has a few things that I call kind of my utensil area of the bag, and I've shown many of you this little set before, which is my little spoon and fork that folds. This is made out of titanium, so it's nice and lightweight, and it allows me to have a spoon and a fork on my flight to be able to eat things, and that way, you know, I don't have to have a whole separate set. This is nice and small, and it even has a little hole here, so if you wanted to take it out and put it on a carabiner or something, this is great. I take this with me a lot on everyday adventures just because it's just nice to have that. Sometimes you've bought a salad or you've bought something and they forget to stick utensils in that bag. This has come in really handy. These next couple things in this bag are individually wrapped floss and floss picks, because for me, if I get something stuck in my tooth on the flight, it will drive me nuts. So I'm able to get to a bathroom and use one of these, and it's in its own little pack. It's nice and sanitary, and I keep two just in case. I can give one to someone else if they need it, or if someone's flying with me, they can use it. I also showed you last time that I take a couple of chopsticks with me, because these are great for picking up and eating things, mixing things up, even on my travel adventure when I need to mix eggs up if I'm cooking, or if I'm eating a bag of Cheetos and I don't want to get my fingers all orange. These work great. These are also titanium, which is really nice, and it also folds up really nice. They're telescopic, so you can see that they're really small. I've shown many of you before, I had a nice rosewood set of chopsticks that screwed together, and I still love them. Unfortunately, they just didn't fit in this little bag, so I've opted to go with the little light titanium ones. This next little set is a telescoping straw with a telescoping cleaner, and then I keep a little silicone mouthpiece, I guess, to this. I like it because it's small and it fits into almost any cup or drink, and it telescopes out. But what I didn't like was that in case you're in turbulence, if you're drinking and you know something gets bumped, it kind of hits you in the roof of the mouth and can kind of hurt. So I bought a separate little silicone top here so that if I'm drinking and there's turbulence, it has a little bit of give, and it's going to be able to be something that's a little more protective. And it also comes with a nice telescoping cleaners so that you can get in here and clean this thing up. So if you had something like a milkshake or something, you want to get it cleaned out, or one of your smoothies or something, this is a great thing to have all cleaned up, and it fits nicely in this little box and fits in my pouch nicely. So the set comes like this, and again, I just added this little silicone thing, and I just put it on the end of my little brush here just so I have it, and everything's nice and tidy in this cute little box. Next piece is a napkin that I take with me. Obviously, I want a little napkin. I like this one because it's small. This was actually cut from a larger piece of ultralight backpacking towel. I just took pinking shears, I cut them, and then I went ahead and ran the edges through a flame to just kind of seal it all off. And this has been through many, many hand washings, and it has lasted me. So that's where this little thing came in. This was on this little round carabiner, but this way, if I am out eating and I'm on the plane and I want to make sure that I'm not going to end up with food all over the front of me because A, turbulence, and B, I don't know, you could just get food. This will at least allow me to have some protection if something drips or something like that, or you've opened something and there's pressure and it kind of pops open. This is going to help protect the front of my shirt a little bit. Plus, when I'm eating, I can dab my mouth really quickly and let it hang here, and I don't have it falling off on the floor or falling on the seat or something, and this keeps it nice and handy. And then when I get back from the bathroom and I'm done washing everything out and this needs to dry, I'll just go ahead and clip this on here, and with this little carabiner, I just put it onto a bag or something, and that just allows me to get this little thing to dry really quickly, and in about 30 minutes it's completely dry. Still in the utensils pocket, what else do I have in here? I have a couple of these little doggy poopy bags. I just think it's always good to have something like this. If you've had something really messy and you want to throw it away, I really usually sit in the window seat, and I hate handing things over people that could be, I don't know, messy or drippy or whatever. And I like to put them in a bag like this and give it to the flight attendant, or if someone's going to get sick, something like that. I carry a couple of those in here. They just take up so little room that it's just good to have these, you know, for anything. Just, you know, keep everything clean. The next thing is a shout wipe, because turbulence, you know, something could spill on you. You know, it could be that you're not even eating. I remember once that someone was opening a can of something and it kind of spurts out and kind of hit me. And, you know, this way you have a little bit of something to clean up for you or someone else. And the last thing in this front pocket is my P51 can opener. I carry this with me on all my travel adventures, and I have used it several times when I've been at an Airbnb or one of those hotels that you supposedly can cook in, but they have nothing else in there, no can opener, and I'm able to open up a can of soup, a can of vegetables, whatever. This has come in really handy. In my last video, I showed you how I use this, and some people have corrected me and said, oh, you should be turning the can the other way. So I'll give that a try and let you know how it works. But either way, having a small can opener, you can see this takes up no room. So good to have. There was a time I was on a trip, I think it was during COVID, and they cleaned out everything in these like efficiencies or these, you know, it was like an extended stay with a kitchen, and there was nothing in there. And so thank goodness I had this, because I went to buy a can of soup and there was nothing to open it with, and I had this little thing with me, and I keep that with me all the time now. All right, we're going to get into the back portion. There's another pocket back here, and this is my little pocket of things that just make life better when you're flying and eating airline food. Number one thing I have in here is a little electrolyte mix that also has B vitamins in it, and I think that's really good to have, because if you start to feel like really dehydrated, you're not feeling great, having some vitamin C and B vitamins and some electrolytes will make you feel better pretty much instantly. I also have 2 packages of Parmesan cheese. You know when you get like Parmesan cheese with your pizzas, something like that? I carry a couple of these because sometimes you'll buy a salad, it's just not great tasting or whatever, you want a little bit extra. Parmesan cheese for me hits the bill, and it's some extra protein for me. I know it's not a lot, but it's a little something to sprinkle on a salad or on top of a soup that makes everything taste a little bit better. Oh, I guess I had 3 of these in here. I like Parmesan cheese, can you tell? All right, this next little packet is a packet of what they call Shiitake Mushroom Tea. Sometimes if my stomach just isn't feeling great, I just want something a little salty, kind of plain, and this Shiitake Mushroom Tea is just wonderful. I used to take a little pack of miso soup with me, and sometimes I do, but the miso soup was taking up a little bit of room in here, so I opted to go in with this little thing of Shiitake mushroom soup. It's something that just tastes really good. I got this, I think, at an Asian food store. It came with a pack of like, I don't know, maybe 10 or 8 of these, and so I keep one of those in here. These next things are things that I take And I use them not only on my flight, but during my travel adventures. And number one is a little thing, a little salt shaker, because a lot of times when you're flying, your taste buds change when you're at altitude. Things don't taste the same. Adding a little bit of salt just makes it a little bit better. And then I can use this on my travel adventures if I'm cooking or something like that, or I'm buying something. The next one are 3 more different spices that I bring along with me. And you can see that they're all in this same little salt tin. So this is real salt. It's called Redmond's Real Salt. And they come in these little tiny shakers. And as I use them up, I save these shakers and I make my own blend of seasoning salt that I mix in a little bowl and put in here. This next one is a little tiny bottle of Habanero Tajin, which for me, it's kind of like that bright citrus with a little bit of, hot, spice to it. And it's great on vegetables and fruit or in a salad. Sometimes you get some salad dressings and just kind of blah. This adds a nice kick to it and tastes great. And this last bottle is a little bottle of dehydrated miso powder. It's the same powder that you get in instant miso soup mixes, but I buy it in a little bit bigger bag. And I put that in here because it adds a nice umami flavor to things when I want to add that. Or I can dump this whole thing into a large cup and make a large bowl of miso soup if I want. But it's great to add even to the top of popcorn or pretzels, and just gives it that nice umami flavor. So those are the spices that I take with me. And then I can also use them on my travel adventures. All right, that's everything that's in this little bag, but let me show you what else I bring on my travel adventures just in case something happens. Before we get into what is in this bag, could you do me a favor? If you're liking this video, give me a thumbs up. That really helps the algorithm. And if you'd like to see more of my videos, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. It's going to let you know anytime I put up a travel video. And also by commenting and sharing my video, it really helps the algorithm know that people like my videos and want to see them. So if you could do that, just go ahead and share that with anyone else. I really appreciate it. And leave a comment below. That helps the algorithm as well. All right, let's get into what is in this bag that I also bring on my travel adventures. Most of the time, don't bring a meal. Not every travel trip do I bring a meal. Kind of depends on the length of the trip. But I do always bring food because I've had several travel adventures where we've been delayed. Another gate change and another delay. Rerouted, trips are canceled. I remember one time we were delayed through 3 different gates. We are at gate change number 4. No, maybe 3, but we are on flight delay number 6. And every time they kept saying it's delayed 1 hour. So I wouldn't go get anything to eat. It's delayed 1 hour. Next thing you know, it's 4 hours later and everything is closed. But I didn't go get anything. I'm like, oh, we're just going to get on the plane soon anyway. Well, no, that didn't happen, and I was really sorry. And when I flew with my dad a few times, the one time we flew, it was supposed to be a 4-hour trip, and it turned into a 36-hour ordeal. Had our flight delayed, changed planes, diverted, and canceled. And now we are in Albuquerque overnight, and have a long day ahead of us tomorrow, so we're going to eat our bentos in the hotel room. And thank goodness I packed a full meal on the flight. I'll link that video up here so you can watch it, but we ended up eating in a hotel room that night. But let me go through what's in this bag. The number one thing I always bring with me is a thing of beef jerky or some sort of protein with me. I think it's important that I have protein. I'm trying to eat more protein now that, my diabetic, and I'm trying to keep everything lower carb. I always bring protein with me. It satisfies me, gets me the protein I need, and I can, if I don't eat it all up, this is in a resealable bag, and I love these things to take with me. Speaking of protein, I also bring peanut butter powder. And before everybody gets their panties in a bunch, I'm just going to say this right now. All airports sell things with peanuts or peanut butter in them, and many people bring them on the plane to have as a snack and eat. If you have a severe peanut allergy, it is your responsibility to contact the airlines ahead of time and let them know and see if they'll make an announcement for you. Some will not. But it's up to you to be proactive in your allergy, and not for every 200 person on that plane to, you know, cater to you, because there might be a parent on there whose kid will only eat peanut butter and jelly, and that's what they're going to give them, or someone who's vegetarian and that's what they have brought on the plane to eat, or something like that. So I would make sure you have your EpiPen, make sure you have a note from your doctor, make sure you have your bracelet on, and make sure you talk to the people around you and say, hey, letting you all know I am allergic to peanuts, so if anyone has peanuts or peanut butter, could you please not eat that around me? And I always ask when I'm entering a plane, I'm going to eat this, does anybody have a peanut allergy? If so, I will not open this. However, if not, this is getting opened on the plane. This is peanut butter powder, and I love it because all I have to do is open up this little container, take a little bit of water, take my chopsticks, mix it all up, and I have some nice creamy peanut butter then to put on some crackers, which is my next thing. I found these little crackers that are more high protein crackers, and I keep them in a little like vitamin container type of thing so that they don't get all crushed when they're inside of my personal item bag. And that way, with the peanut butter and the crackers, I'm able to have a little bit of carbohydrates, a little bit of fat, and some protein. So this whole ensemble here gives me pretty good protein, a little bit of fat, and some lower amounts of carbohydrates that are going to keep me satisfied in case, you know, your flight is circling for an hour, which the last 2 flights for me have done, or you've been rerouted. The plane had to get halfway there and turn around and come back because they didn't have enough fuel to get to Sitka and turn around because of bad weather. And now you have to sit on the tarmac, which last time for me was we had to sit on the tarmac for 30 extra minutes because our tires were going to catch on fire on the plane or something. So always have something. You never know what's going to happen during these flights where, again, you can get delayed, rerouted, canceled, that type of thing. I also bring a little thing of allulose in a re-zip bag. Allulose is one of those things that no matter where I get coffee or anything, they never have it. So I always bring my own so I can have a cup of coffee or tea on the plane. And that way I have, you know, something that is allow me to have that little sweet without having a lot of carbohydrates. It's one of my favorites to take. I also pack a bigger bag on my travel adventure, and I put that in my overhead luggage, but all of this fits into my personal carry-on. Last thing I have is a collapsible cup like this. So when I want to make miso soup, or if I want to make my electrolyte drink, and something where I don't necessarily want to put it in my thermos, I have this right here. I like this because it's ribbed and it allows it to be dispersing the heat a bit if I'm holding something hot. I will tell you, I don't know if they're still making this one, so I will see if I can get a link or to something similar that's a collapsible cup like this that'll allow you to have this on your travel adventures. This is a great thing to have. I have used this for so many things, like even putting it on the counter to put my toothbrushes and things like that in. And believe it or not, I've used it with my grandkids, so if they needed to play in the sand, they had a cup to play with, you know, anything to keep them busy. And this is a great thing to take on your travel adventures. And I keep everything in this little nylon bag that's kind of like parachute material. It comes with 3 sizes, and I like that it has a built-in carabiner. So if I don't want it in my personal carry-on and I just want to hang it on the outside, or hang it on my hero clip and hang it on the outside of, you know, my seat pocket in front of me, everything's really accessible for me. And that way I have everything I need to have a nice little meal or snack on my travel adventures. So I want to know from you, what are your must-haves that you would keep in your little travel prepared for anything meal bag? Let me know in the comments below, because I'm always looking for some new gear to share with you guys, and I'd love to hear what you take with you. If you like this video, I think you're really going to like this one. And remember, travel adventure favors the prepared. Happy travels.